Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the day the junkyard way. Go down here to this V70 wagon, get this engine mount off of there, get a mirror glass for Cleve. When I had for Cleve, I had to use it on Queen Bee. And then get over to Lester's. A few things going on over there. Try to contact this C70 person, that door latch, and try to get this day wrapped up. Heck, maybe even a little early. Work on some computer stuff, work on my website. Whoop whoop. Junkyard mobile. This guy has been riding around on the flat tire for a couple days now. Man, interesting. Just keeps on going till it doesn't. Boy, this place is a muddy mess. Let me see if this mirror is good. Yeah, that mirror glass is fine. No chips, not falling off. I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna grab this mount for Moshi. Ugh, it's the best one I see down here. And tires off. Man, looks like it had a newer wheel hub. So I don't know if I brought that or not, but I know that mount's good. Got that engine mount. Had to wedge a strut on the engine, lift it up. And I got this mirror for Cleve. Man, look at that beautiful shift knob. And this panel in here doesn't look damaged. That's nice. This didn't look damaged either. This piece here, commonly damaged. Even though the boot doesn't look like it's still attached to it. It may be a common worn out part. Time to get out of here, man. I am sweating bad. Just got hit in the head with a dragonfly. It's time to roll. It is hot out here. I am going to install this subframe brace. Actually, it's a under the body frame brace from a C70 convertible onto Lester's 850 sedan here. We have the hardware. And everything we need. So let's get started. First thing I'm gonna do is jack up the car, place the jack stands there because I need them clear of the normal place that I put the jack stands, because that stuff has to come off to install this brace. You can also support the middle of the subframe like I did here. Now you take the 14s and the 18s and take that triangle off there on both sides, and you take this center support brace off here. Here are the difference in the bolts, the long ones and the short ones. I have this triangle off, getting ready to attach this one. I gotta go and pull that, and I gotta go over the other side and pull that other triangle off of the vehicle so that I can get this stuff hung. It appears that the bolts for this little center support are the same size. So I went on ahead and hung the brace by the two back 12mm bolts. I'm over this side. I'm going to remove these 3 bolts. Then I'm going to pivot that up. Get these 3 bolts started. I'm not going to tighten them. Then I'm going to start that other one there. Then I'm going to go over the other side and start those 3 over there. Then I'm going to insert that one and get it started back there, and then I'll torque these front ones up first and tighten those ones in the back. I got all 5 bolts on this side torqued down, these 3 and these 2 going over to torque down the other side. There you have it, folks. All of the bolts are torqued, front and back. Now I could remove that jack or jack stand, whatever you got there, and let the car back down. And that's how you install the C70 Subframe Brace. Car's back on the ground. Time to go racing. Found this fuel filler neck to tank clamp, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace this rusted out one. And there it is, folks. The rusted one is removed and the non-rusted one is installed. I removed that screw totally, and then I pry it open a little bit and spin it clockwise so I can reach the other 10mm bolt. Take that loose a little bit. If it doesn't come loose, I just pry the clamp open on the old rusted one to get it off. And then I loosen the clamp on the other side, hook it around, spin them in position, start that screw, turn it around clockwise, tighten that one all the way up on the other side, then put it in position and tighten this one all the way down. Pretty easy job. Then you got to decide when and if you're ever going to replace that. When I tried to pull that nut off of that cast screw on that smooth broke right off on mine. So I had to put mine in with no screws on it. It's just sitting in place, but it's not rusted. Next, we're going to try to adjust the hood gap. This side, we got 3/8 of an inch. This side, we got 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to try to move this hood over just a little bit to the right. You can see where it's nicking that panel down there, and this panel over here has space, so this hood can definitely be moved to the right a little bit out here on front. See if we can do that, and then we'll move on to the next task. Hopefully all this stuff will fall right. I loosen this bolt, I loosen that bolt, I move the latch over that way, almost 1/4 of an inch. I loosen this bolt, I loosen that bolt, I move the latch over, almost 1/4 of an inch. I loosen those two bolts, push the hood over to the right, tighten them back down, loosen those two bolts, push the hood over to the right, the hinge over to the left, tighten them down. I loosen those 4 bolts, push the fender in, and snug those bolts back down. You be careful you don't over tighten these bolts. They strip real easy. So let's close this hood, see where we're at. Looks like we got a nice 1/4 inch there and a nice 1/4 inch there. Just got to make sure. Man, that looks good all the way back. I think we hit this as good as it'll get. This is a little close here, so I'm going to loosen this screw up here, pull that out just a little bit. But everything else looks great to me. Alrighty, let's call that adjusted. Pull that end of the fender out a little bit and we should be good to go. That's got almost 1/4 of an inch there. And it's got almost 1/4 of an inch there. It shouldn't hit that anymore. Here we're rolling right along. Not sure if we're going to replace the rear struts. He's got used ones, same kind that's on there used. I don't know if we're going to do that. Got the chassis brace installed, heater cord and hoses, antenna switch, side markers, parking brake is done, key fob's done, hood gap's done, washer jets. So let's hit these side markers and then we'll do that antenna switch. Hardest thing about the side markers is getting this off cleaned up. I had to find my knife to pull that off of there. Man, it looks like he needs a wiper blade. That wiper blade looks smashed. Oh, yep. That wiper blade's dead. Anyway, let's go ahead and get these removed and then wire up those marker lights to these corner flashers. I believe the lower part is the flasher, so we're going to wire those into that. I like using my strut bolts for ground. So I ground there, I come down here and I probe the wire there. It looks a little nasty. I had to put some dielectric grease on that. But when I hit this gray wire over here, it gave me 12 volts continuous because it is the parking light one. Ground there, probe there, 9-volt there, 12 volts there. Now when I hit this other wire that's blue-green, it's probably going to be flashing because I have my flashers on, and that's the one I want to tap into for this corner marker light. The black is likely ground in the middle. Ground there, back probe there, 9-volt there, and I got a flashing 12 volts if it would catch it. Using these quick splice connectors here, whenever you get the wire in there and get it spliced in, you can check, make sure you got a good connection. You switch that over to ohms. You rest the black pin on that silver piece of metal in there. You take this in, push it on the other end of your wire, and you should read 0 resistance, and that'll let you know you got a good connection before you move on. Hit the flashers. There it is, boy. On this side, the white is parking light, running light. The green is the flasher, and the black is the ground. So I got that hooked up. I'm gonna plug that in, turn on the flashers, see if it works. And it works. We're good to go. We have an antenna switch, but we do not have a wire harness for it. So I'm gonna slide out to the junkyard first thing in the morning, grab a wire harness for it, and come back and install this. You can see it's keyed. 4 keys on one side, 1 key on the other side. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.